following clip is taken from a full episode of Hooligan Radio, our podcast where we talk movies, gaming, cryptids, conspiracies, true crime, and much, much more. If you like videos like this one, please consider subscribing and checking out our full-length podcasts here on YouTube or on iTunes if you just search Hooligan Radio. Thank you for watching. But yeah, Isaiah, you want to jump into your topic?
Yeah, so over the last week, I've basically dedicated my whole life to becoming Kratos. Which means I've been playing God of War, which is the new PlayStation exclusive that came out. It's, I'm pretty sure, the highest rated game as a PS exclusive, barring Grand Theft Auto, which is like a behemoth in itself. Mm-hmm. Personally, I think that God of War is the best game I've probably played since I was in high school.
Wow.
So probably within the last 5 years, if not longer. People will argue that Breath of the Wild was better, but I thought where Breath of the Wild lacked was like storyline in general. I mean, in Breath of the Wild, you knew things that are going to happen. You are going to fight Ganon eventually. You are going to see Zelda eventually. These things are going to happen. In God of War, we didn't even know that like God of War was happening again because the trilogy was over. So you get this. We got this announcement that there was going to be a new God of War. Everybody started calling it Dad of War. So if I call it Dad of War, that's just trained. I'm trained to be that right now.
But you're correct with that.
And that's because he has a son in the game. That's the whole meme,
yeah, which
right?
is huge. It's amazing. Okay. So he has a son in the game, which you can see from the trailers. I'm going to avoid all spoilers, even though I've beaten the game. What is amazing about him having a son is it's such a beautiful concept. If you really think about it, the people who grew up playing God of War are right in their life phase where A, they're thinking about having kids, or B, they already have their first kid. Mm-hmm. So it appeals to that audience again. Secondly, if those kids are like old enough to pay attention to like their dad playing a video game, they can see like, wow, look, there's like a little kid in this, and that's my dad. He's so cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And the gameplay is beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. I think that, honestly, after playing the first 2 hours of God of War, I was looking up on Amazon how much it would be for me to get a PS Pro so I could play it in 4K. Because it would have been beautiful. I think that the game is so good. The progression is not too hard, but definitely rewarding. There is no extra microtransactions, or you can't even buy skins. Like that is like the thing in gaming right now is you can pay for cosmetic items. So that this isn't a game as a service, which is a whole new topic. This is a game released in full, front to back. This game is done. There's possibility for, if it does well, which I think it is doing well, more games like this to happen, which is a beautiful thing in the industry right now, because we've gone from games with a story to new Call of Duty is thinking, we're not even going to put a story in it. We're going to focus completely on multiplayer and zombies, which is like, it's weird to think to me, like, games started out as a different way to tell a story, and now they're just like, here's a way to spend the next 36 hours of your life just grinding out doing the same thing over and over again so that you can get that new flashy camo or
so you can get the John Wick skin.
So you can get your John Wick, or you can get whatever. It's absolutely crazy though.
So for God of War, so I have God of War as well. I bought it the day it came out. And this is my first video game. I have PS4. This is my first video game that I'm buying that's not, a Call of Duty or a Madden or, anything like that. It's an actual video game with a story to tell. And it's my first time buying one of those, and I can't even remember the last one that I bought. Maybe one of the Batman games I bought a number of years ago. But I agree with you. It's amazing. It's blown me away so far. I'm barely even scratching the surface on getting into the game, and I've already spent like 5-6 hours on it. But the thing that I love the most right off the bat is the combat in the game is so smooth, yet it's so cinematic. Like, it's hard to have that balance when you're fighting to where it's easy to pick up and play, but it also is like very like I don't want to say realistic, but it's very like cinematic in the way that it almost looks like you're watching a fight, but you're also a part of the fight. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things in the combat you can do. And again, I'm like level 1 as far as Kratos' skills, so I'm sure there's much more cool shit I can do. But it's like, just when you're fighting huge giants or trolls or whatever, or fighting like that character at the beginning of the game that you fight, it's like the fights, you're controlling Kratos, but it's so cinematic and done so well. That's my favorite part of the game so far.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I read a review, like, right after I'd started playing it. I was starting to watch people's, like, YouTube videos on it. I watched Donkey's YouTube video on it. I don't remember where I saw the review, but the review was beautifully brutal, and I think that is absolutely right on point, because the fights, like, you feel powerful when you're playing it, because, like, when he hits people, like, it's just so hard, and you're like, okay, that's dope. And, like, there's multiple ways to play it. Like, you could kind of play it strategically in your fights, where you can just be like, I'm going to focus on this guy and get him down and out. Or you could just, like, button mash and hack and slash your way through the whole story. And what's really cool is I heard that, like, I played it on normal because I wanted to enjoy the game and not want to rip my hair out.
Same here.
I'm not a Dark Souls fan, so I'm not going to make every game I play Dark Souls. But I heard that the hardest mode is super hard, like super brutal. So like people who play Dark Souls, I'm not even going to compare this game to Dark Souls for them. But if you like a challenge in your game, you could definitely hook it up and go the hard way and definitely have that problem.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, there were times when I was just getting used to the game where I had to figure out like I'm hitting buttons, but it looks so well animated that I'm like, am I actually controlling him, or is this just a cutscene? Like, I couldn't tell. But then I'd stop hitting buttons and start getting my ass kicked. I'm like, oh wait, I gotta play. This isn't a cutscene. So like, it's insanely well done. You can tell so much work got put into it. Like, just the little things too, like for example, when you're riding in the canoe, with your son, and you just have to ride in a canoe from one point to another, and it's kind of an open world scenario. But the son and Kratos will just start telling, Kratos will start telling them stories, and they'll just start having conversations. That it's like they didn't need to put that in the game. It has no impact on anything really. It's just cool to just hear them talking to each other, and then as soon as you get out of the canoe, Kratos is just like, all right, we'll finish this another time. It's not important at all, but it's just so cool that they put that little stuff in there.
They do such a good job of making you literally feel like a god. The score, like the music in the game, enough is to make you feel like you're going through like this epic tale. Yeah, which is so cool. And another good thing is a lot of games where you have like this AI controlled person with you, he's useless. Like, I've played so many games. Like, I remember, dude, Army of Two. If you didn't play Army of Two with another person and you used the AI person with you, you just you were an Army of One. But like the AI controlled your son, he's really useful. And like you can like when you start playing the game, there's like I think Square, you can like having him do an action or whatever. But like he's pretty good. Like, I easily dumped all of my like stats. I'm like, my son's gonna be so cool.
It's like you're already the God of War. You don't gotta power yourself up that much. You can just put it in
this is a little kid. He's gotta get strong.
But I loved about that too. Again, so far from what I've played, is that they didn't make it too much of a chore for your son to be around in the battle. Like, from what I've played so far, like, he doesn't really have a health bar. Like, he can get hurt, but he's just, like, down for a second, then he's fine. Like, I can still have my fight and not be like, oh, shit, I can control two characters. Where's my son? They don't make it too annoying. It's a great addition, to the game without it being, like, overbearing or anything like that. So, it's hard for me to find any flaws with the game.
That's where I'm
thus far.
Like, I don't have any complaints about the game.
I mean, if you're not into this genre, if you don't like this type of game, then you're not going to be into it. But if this is, if it looks like it's down your alley, I think you're going to love the game. I can't think of anything that's wrong with it.
Plus, there's plenty of moments in the storyline where you can get that meme where you're like, don't talk to me and my son ever again. I did that at least 10 times in my own living room by myself.
I'm going to have to buy it on the way home today.
Absolutely.
I've only heard
you're going to start playing it tonight, and you're not going to want to stop to go to work tomorrow.
Oh, man.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.